There's a lot of stuff out in those streets. And I know my life would have been much different if I hadn't had him put me on the right path.
Yes, sir.
Whenever he spoke about you, he told me about a great man. And I figured, how great could this guy be? Look what I put in front of me. But I tell you, it takes you gotta see a man to be a man. And I ain't too proud to cry because even men cry when their soul is food, joy.
Yes, sir.
See someone as great as you sit here and be humble and be powerful. I'm proud to cry.
Yes, sir. Allahu Akbar.
Because nothing can touch my emotion. Tell him I done took hard hits.
Tell him.
Praise be to Allah. I ain't cry. Because guess what? You can't lose anything when you have great human beings. The word master is what? Not high enough. Human. Those are the words. You are a human being. Us.
Give it up.
This is tough assignment after you leave. Master Wilson, Grandmaster Wilson. I remember being a little kid coming down the street. He used to go to his job when he worked at the bank. Every other day, he'll look up and I was there, coming to see Master Wilson. So with Grandmaster Godfrey, one day we was going to the park. I said, we're gonna go meet Master Wilson. And I had a pair of nunchucks. He was like, what you doing at those things? You don't know what you're doing at those things. Let me show you how to operate. And it was just so amazing to see how he used the nunchucks. Everybody was crazy about Bruce Lee and everything else, but I had the real thing in front of me.
Yes, sir.
Master Wilson, you really changed my life. And he always called me everybody calls me Peanut. He said, that little peanut. that little peanut. That one. But I'm just so happy to be able to been around you, met you, and still today, as I ride past the dojo, he walked by, he was like, that was Peanut going down the street. And that name is never gonna go nowhere. But I love you dearly.
Why? What the hell Ibrahim is thinking when he asked me to be the guest speaker? Because, as you know, I don't do a lot of talking. I'd rather people talk for me. But anyway, this is indeed an honor just to be here. Ibrahim was talking about the integrity, his integrity and whatnot. He had me going there for a moment until he mentioned that pretty woman. I advise all of you, be careful. But anyway, when I met Jim, they called him Chi-Chi. I was in high school, and I was working out at the YMCA down in Newark on Broad Street, lifting weights, trying to put it together. And someone said there's a karate demonstration upstairs, and I came upstairs to see that. And I saw Jim, not knowing who he was, and I saw this demonstration. Then I saw Jim break 2 center slabs. I thought he had just knocked down the Twin Towers. I I was so freaking impressed. I walked up to him. He gave me a handkerchief with all the signals on it and whatnot. And I talked to him. Then I came to his dojo and I told him, look, I'm in high school. I don't have a job, but I really want to learn this. I'm a good athlete. And you know, Jim told me, what I want you to do is this. You help clean up around the place and you don't have to pay dues. And he just, from that point on, that was my introduction into martial arts in the sense of being trained by the best. As opposed to sitting in the Newark Library reading all the books on martial arts. Right. But anyway, with Jim training, he and I became more than just student sensei. He became like a father image at one time because I didn't have a father. Then as I grew, it became a brother issue. And my grades in high school, from a person with D's and F's, I went straight to the honor roll. And I stayed on honor roll because of what he instilled in me. And during the time that I was training with Jim, I heard of this guy on Market Street, his school. And all I heard, this Bill Wilson, his students could do this, his students could do that. So my attitude back in the day, still being arrogant, hey, I gotta go see this because I don't think they could beat me. And this is how I came to this man's school, introduced myself. And he opened his arms and heart for all of us to come there as guests and work out, not as competitors, but in the form of learning. And from that point on, I learned one thing. And I'm not the person to say that I have all that humility and stuff, I don't. But what he taught me was this: I'm a student for life. Any great martial artist is a student for life. We will always learn. Period. And that's how I came to respect and love this brother. And we had many conversations. His dojo was open. It was no more of me coming there figuring, well, let me see who I could beat tonight. It was more to sit and listen and learn. Okay? Back at Chito Ru, that was all combat. I mean, it was about survival of the fittest. And you like this man here? Is he great? Is he great? Between you and I used to kick his ass every other day. When he came to the school, he was in like junior high school.
Yeah, that's right.
And I said to him, at that time, George Pryor, he lived in the same neighborhood as I said, I'll drive you to and from the martial arts school. And then I said, well, we're gonna bring you into the part where there's selective individuals that train individually after hours, all day Saturdays, and can you handle it? He said, yeah. As a young man, he took every beating and grew up to be the man that he is today. And he gives the beatings now. But I want to close by saying this. What we should learn from this event here today through Brother Ibrahim is this. This should be annual.
You're right.
There's no way in the world I would be here 35 years from now. And I haven't seen some of you brothers in 20, 30 years. So we should not allow this to be our first and only event.
Teach.
We have to enjoy life while we have it.
That's right.
Because now, after I take care of my business, I got to do my 7 miles before I go home. I'm running. That's right. And I stay in shape. Oh, let me tell you this about staying in shape. Last year, I'm a director of the task force in Newark. Last year, I came out with one of my officers, and I was unarmed, and I walked into a scenario, and these 3 guys, I'm telling them what they can and can't do, and then they decided, oh man, we'll kick your... And I said, oh man, I don't even have my damn gun. So, make a long story short, this one guy just jumped in my face. I really don't know what happened to the day, but let me tell you something. When that guy got up off the ground, he had no front teeth. And the other 2 were unconscious. And I said, how the hell did I do that? So, thank you.
Very brief. I'd just like to thank you. I heard so many stories about you. And getting to meet you and see you and talk to you is truly an honor. One thing that I always learn is the old saying, to fall 7 times, to rise 8 times. Life starts from now. Never give up in the journey of life. Just like to say to you one thing. Can you imagine these powerful martial arts in this room where we wouldn't have to depend on one another for protection? And I had the honor of presenting a demonstration to my teacher about the canines. And for those who didn't see it, will always realize that we're going to sometimes need a friend that is stronger and run faster, and at the same time is not afraid to go to war. So with that, if there's anything that I can do to help you, it'd be most honored for me to do it. Thank you.
First, I'd like to thank God for being able to be a part of your life. I want you to being a part of our life. You go. And the fact is that...
Wait. Marad, y'all got to keep it down, brother.
The fact is that you've been a mentor on the way you taught martial arts and your life with the people that you have taught and what they have taught and what they have taught. One will teach the other. I'm thankful for that. Thank God for you. I spoke to you earlier. I hadn't seen you, I guess, in about 25 years. 27. 27. I'm a working man. Every time you turn around, I got a business going. What happens is I fade right out. But to come from the martial arts, and I'm thankful for men like you, Mr. Cheatham, and Ibrahim Sharif, and to the student. Aaron is my best student, and Steve. I'm talking. Steve.
Give the mic to Aaron. Go ahead, gentlemen. Go ahead.
I just want to say it's an honor being here with you, Grandmaster Bill Wilson. I go way back myself, about 44 years of being in the martial arts. Like Ibrahim mentioned earlier, I started out about the time my age when I was 9 years old. So I've heard a lot of stories. It's been great. I'm here to continue that legacy. You know, I have my studio in Orange, and I had the benefit of the old school and the new school, and this is what I pass on to my students, and just keep that legacy going on. And I thank you for all that you have done for the martial arts, and it's an honor being here with you, sir. Okay.
They used to call me Abja. They still do, but that's because I'm bigger than this, big as this guy here. But I used to, I started in Aaron Bex was my first instructor, and yes sir. And my mother used to I used to hear about this man, Ibrahim Sharif, back then his name was George Crocker. And she said, you have to go over there. And I was living in Newark, but I heard this man taught me everything. I started with Shaquille, Kareem Abdul. But we heard of Eastern School of Martial Arts. And when we got there, I saw techniques that I've never seen before in my life. So I honor all y'all, but I give glory to my Savior Jesus Christ. And I thank God for this upbringing because it made me the man of God that I am today. This is what I wanted to say to y'all. So thank you for teaching my instructors because they kept your legacy going. All right?
And let me say something. Steve was 9 years old. Aaron lost his mother at 9. And that's a dear thing when you lose your mother. But he never stopped. He never stopped.
Never gave up.
He never stopped. Elbridge Hawkins, the assemblyman, former assemblyman, and I'm going to say this, never missed hardly one of my classes. He had a white Continental with a kid on the back. And they called it at that time the Hawk. And then he had his son. Yes, sir. And trained his daughter, and his wife. So the Hawkins family. So before I bring on thank you, gentlemen. Before I bring on the honorable, to all of you all, let's give all of you all a hand for being here today. The Honorable Grandmaster Bill Woodson.
I'm going to make this quick. This surprised me when we came into city a few weeks ago and as always, I said, well, who's going to be there? He says, oh, and he said, you'll be surprised. I'm surprised. But I also knew